everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. This is the Vice Press Open channel, and we are on episode 5 now, and the topic is the WandaVision episode, because all the good people that are here have something to do with WandaVision. They're big fans, and I'm going to introduce you. First of all, top corner, James Henshaw, the man of Vice Press. You all know him. Then we have underneath them, Flory, who is also a big WandaVision fan. We always have very great chats because luckily his timing is, when it comes to WandaVision, he can watch it in the evening, perfect timing, so he's always up to date. And then we have the man that came out with a poster, and that is a beautiful one, and Matt First, of course.
Yo.
So, how's everybody doing, guys?
Good.
Yeah, good, thanks, Tom.
Good.
Yeah, good, thanks, Tom. How about you?
I hope everybody can hear us fine, by the way, and let us know in the chat if there's some audio problems, because I've experienced a little bit of a delay here, but I hope you guys have the better end of the stick. Also, please smash the like button, because that's very important to us. We need your clicks, because that's going to help us do some more cool giveaways in the future. And yeah, as I mentioned, maybe James has some free beers around, and we come to that probably later.
Is saying smash the like a sort of keyword thing? Because I've seen a few YouTube people say smash the like button.
It's
I'm
hot.
Smash it. Smash that
I've
shit.
not smashed it yet myself, and it always makes me go, no, I won't.
Well, that's great.
Exactly.
Exactly. We're the big guys now. I'm a little bit quiet. I'm gonna turn up a little bit. Okay. I hope that's better, guys. Thank you for letting us know in the chat. I hope this is better.
Am I loud enough?
Yes.
Am I loud enough?
I tuned you up very loud, so I think you're good.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to manage the delay a little bit, because that's what Flory always telling me, because he's rewatching them always in the morning and telling me, Tom, you need to do this shit. It needs to get sorted out.
Sort out the lag, man.
Knowing absolutely nothing about any of it, but what's the other thing that I always say? Fuck, I'm annoying on that show. It's not just critiquing you.
See, today I don't know why, but it's very out of sync. That's what people are saying right now. My audio is better now, but let's get.
What, your audio? Is all of our audio good?
I'm trying to work with the delay, but I think the Skype thing and connection is pretty bad.
Okay, let's just go. Let's just go. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Let's start talking.
You guys gonna get us going a little bit. James, please take over a little bit, and I'll try to find the best audio for the people out there.
If we can hear him, because he's like. If we can hear him, because he's like.
So am I still robot voice? This all could fundamentally come back to being my fault again. So what should we talk about? Radio. Let's talk about some releases that we had this week, I guess. Firstly, I think obviously we had Drew Struzan's The Thing Lenticular that went on sale this week with Bottleneck Gallery. It was a collaboration with Bottleneck Gallery, but released solo through us guys. The sale on that went crazy. Matt, Flory, have you got any thoughts around it?
Made more so that we could make more money. Yeah.
Yeah, it should have been higher.
The thing is that the logistics of them are crazy, because you ship them out flat in these boxes, and they just take up all the space.
Yeah, so it's one of the things
you're limited there, aren't you?
Yeah, we get a lot of questions around much bigger, and it's always difficult with these things because there's logistics to take into account, like what Matt said. Also, they're expensive to produce as well, so it's really difficult to judge because you know, we're only a relatively small company. So if we commit to making 500 and only sell 300, that's a huge potential outlay that we've got to lay out, and a huge financial loss, really. So we never do these things maliciously, or never do them. I think there was a few comments around creating artificial demand.
Or do we?
What do we?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I do like winding people up by not letting them have stuff.
I think it's a case of, I think we always aim to like have between 90% and 120% as kind of availability, and sometimes it's well off base. You've only got to look in the store. Sometimes we get it off and we end up with having copies left, and sometimes, like with the Thing, we massively underestimate. But yeah, I think we've got something planned for the future, Matt, that should help ease the pain for the folks that wanted to get the Thing lenticular. We might have something in the future that would ease the pain for folks that didn't manage to get the lenticular.
Yeah. A poster.
You're gonna sell a GIF of it.
Yeah, we're gonna do a bit of NFT.
Yeah, we're gonna
crypto
sell
Thing stuff. Yeah.
So hook us up if you fancy a JPEG. Only $5,000 JPEG.
Ooh,
that's like 1.5 ETH, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh fuck! Don't start. Don't start this.
I don't know.
Do this early in the morning.
Yeah.
I had the same problem. I had the same problem this week as well with the Jaws APs that went in like 14 seconds or something ridiculous, and it's just constant emails of like, make more, you sack of shit. Like, I didn't do it. It's not my fault. Like, I haven't bloody been able to sell 5 APs. I haven't been able to sell APs to save my life recently, but these ones just went. I didn't do anything different. People just wanted them, mate. You should have got there earlier, I guess.
Got there earlier.
Yeah, it's kind of like you become the victim of your own success to a degree, because I think with your Jaws, we put a lot of effort into, same as Bella Grace's Jurassic Park, and we got a bit of grief for the same thing. We put a hell of a lot of effort into making as many people aware of those as we could, just so they'd be successful for you guys. And it's
yeah, it's got nothing to do with the artwork. It's just our emotional work. Because otherwise, it just wouldn't even sell 5 because he's such a.
No, I didn't mean just that. But it's yeah, it's kind of a strange one, because one thing. Sending somebody an email or a message saying you guys fucking suck goes but is not a good way to ingratiate yourself to a company in terms of just found behind the sofa.
Which is like use technology, right, to block people.
Yeah.
So if somebody tells me to fucking die or any other weird shit, they get blocked.
Friends, quick question before you talk more shit. Does somebody have a window open that has the audio in there? Because Echo is back again, I guess.
Not me.
I have nothing.
I've got the chat stream, but other than that, I've not got YouTube open.
I took everything off right now.
It must be you, James. Just turn the stream off.
People said it's James's fault.
I've only got Skype on. That's it.
That's the same. I closed everything else.
Right.
Every single phone or something, James. Then that won't do it, right?
That shouldn't do it anyway. Every single window on my desktop is now closed, including Excel.
Hello, I'm trying a little different. One second, guys. Stop talking for a sec, because nobody can hear you. Okay, so now we're back. It's James.
Wait.
People are saying it's James. James is an actor.
It's not James. It's just his ability to destroy technology.
Yeah.
And just things in general by being.
It's his mutant
Don't
power.
ever get on a plane with James, because I'm not saying that it'll crash or anything.
Oh god!
Everything just gets spilt on you straight away, and you say stuff like, "James, just watch that drink, don't spill it," and then that means he will then spill it onto you
immediately. Yeah, and like when that woman tried
to, next to it.
And that woman that tried to kill me with a walking stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fell on my head.
She was happy that you spilled that booze there, wasn't she? Because she went and got free pajamas from first class. She was one step away from being in first class over that.
None of it went on her.
No, it didn't. But she was like, and they gave her free pajamas, and she was so happy. I think she got dressed and put into them, didn't she? She was like,
you're sat there with a wet crotch, stinking of gin. She got free
that's part of the
pajamas.
course for him.
It is.
So have we overcome the lag thing now, Tom?
Let me check, because I turned everything off, so I can't mess up, you know. So it's not my fault in the end. So that's what I was going for. But let me check if that is the likes are going on, and I think the echo's fixed again. People are saying so. I hope that's happening and working.
We can't do much about delay,
I don't
but echo is
have
fucking
this
annoying.
chat thing. I don't see it, so I don't know what people are saying.
It's
don't
best
really
not
care
to look
either.
at it.
Let me just
It's best
try
not
something.
to look at it. It throws you off, I reckon.
Yeah.
Let me just try something. If I got a mute on my mic, can you still hear me?
No.
Of course not.
I was just sorry. I was checking that. I was just checking that my computer mic wasn't on as well as my as well as this one.
This on-air production meeting is fascinating. I'm sure everyone's loving it.
Talk about posters and stuff.
People are saying fix. Sound is good now. See, I
Did anyone release a fucking poster this week onto the internet that's very popular?
Me.
I don't know. Yeah, there you go. What's that all about?
Hey,
come on. Show.
for this TV show, I think I introduced this, but a quick thing on the likes, because that's what you asked, James. I'm gonna get back to you. We are at 15 likes, people. I think we are looking at 50 to maybe get some beers out there to people.
Beers. What beers?
A couple pints. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Thought golden ticket.
You mean like send them a pint glass or an actual beer?
We're just paying.
I was talking about the wonderful Patrick Conan prints that
that
have been coming out. So
I thought you meant like beer. I was
that's
like,
what the free beers like in brackets, you know, like the
Fosters, mate.
Free beers.
Yeah. The pint glasses. Yeah, we can do some free.
Always said that I.
You know what? This is probably
why joke. None of that worked.
This is probably why I should pay attention to this this group chat that we have to discuss these things beforehand.
Yeah, I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can give some.
I think some posters. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can definitely the Patrick Conan, Shaun of the Dead Cornetto trilogy prints came in this week, and we haven't started shipping them yet. No, we're still catching up on some other things. And they look brilliant. They look amazing. They actually, we know that's a done thing that's saying, oh yeah, they look better printed. These actually look really, really good. And we've got another print coming out by George Bletsis soon that we had some of the prints done. We had a few printed up for Jurassic Park, so that'll be in a few weeks. And they look amazing as well. The prints that we use for those, we've kind of changed the paper that we do on the editions now, and I think the paper change, coupled with just brightening up the art files a little bit, they look really good.
Talking about the other art that we mentioned here, the thing came out, as we said. There's still available the Patrick Conan Open Edition pint
glasses.
Funny
point about the thing poster.
Okay, let's hear that first.
Right, so that's right. I'm going to interrupt. I don't give a shit. Right, yeah, so Druzan was talking about it online, or his wife was maybe, saying how he did it in like 24 hours, the original poster, because it was so tight, the deadline on it, and he did it, and then I spent longer remaking the credits and researching the font to make sure the font was the same as the original poster than he did painting the bloody thing. I spent over a week on that.
Literally painting the bloody thing.
Well, what I ended up having to do was custom some of the font because some of the characters were different. So
yeah. It's all the better for it.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as the original, apart from the legal thing. I wanted to. Originally, it said printed in the USA. These maybe are not made in the USA. I don't know if they're made in China or something.
Yes.
So, but also they said we can't have that on anymore. So we're going to have the printed in the USA on it. But if they're made in China,
the same.
We have to do the same credits that will be on someone else's poster as well. And is that one there?
Yeah. The one I get sent to you. Yeah, for your one. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The fans are saying James Hobson, by the way.
Hi, James.
Hello. He's here for the free beer, not the paper. And David Leishman, smashing the like button is fine, but if you like it, it still counts. We are at 21 right now, so I think we can get a little bit higher since we are like almost 40 people watching at the same time. Gareth Griffiths is here, and he says,
"Hey, Gareth."
I think I don't know which sound it is, James, but I hope Gareth is gonna extract it. But he said the sound that you just made, he wants on a loop for 24 hours.
Which sound? Who? Well, James?
Yeah, James made a sound. I don't know which
Some sort of old man mouth sound. Those sitting down sounds.
Yeah. And Black Soul Music is asking, also any chance, Matt, that your World's End that was pulled out comes back? The question that we always have.
No, it's finished.
Okay.
Possibly. We're working on it. We've
what can you do? You can try and get approval, and then you can try and talk to people's agents and stuff, and then if they don't get back to you, what can you do? Not release it ever.
Yeah, we're waiting on one person to approve it.
Simon Pegg.
Yep.
So, another thing that people can't buy.
Garrus is saying that's the sound you made about the paper.
That was
okay.
By the way, I love I love Florrie's mug because everybody could see the mug right now you were using, or like this workout equipment. I don't know what.
Comically large water bottle. Yeah, gotta get your fluids in, guys.
Yeah, you work out, bro.
Exactly.
No, I just have a really big water bottle.
Andrew Hurley says, I always wonder on stuff like this, Matt. I think it was about when you were talking about the your poster. I imagine you produced a WandaVision piece a while ago before seeing many episodes. Is there any changes or things you'd want to add now after seeing more?
It was done the first week of January. It was originally going to be for the launch of the show. And then it got delayed, and it's kind of worked out to be a good thing that it got delayed because it's sort of tied in with this week and last week much better than I thought it was gonna, because I didn't know what was going on. They sent me loads of behind the scenes pictures and stuff, and I'd seen some stuff that I shouldn't have and all that sort of thing.
So you were spoiled?
What?
Oh yeah, are we in full spoiler? We should tell everyone.
I know all sorts of spoilers and stuff, but I'm not going to say.
Right now it wasn't spoilers, but I was wondering if you were spoiled.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Like by seeing the
I was. Yeah.
But we should say overall, once we start discussing WandaVision, that we're probably going to spoil stuff. So if you haven't seen it, just shut your ear holes or something.
Yeah, this is first of all, we're just going to talk about the poster. And then we're going to go into spoiler territory.
But I don't trust myself. That's all.
Then it worked out a lot better, and it's tied in with this week's and last week's episode, like better than I could have hoped, really. And then because fever pitch is so high for the show, it's just. And then you got Paul Bettany tweeting it as well, and it's just like
that was crazy, right?
It's pretty cool.
Are you friends now?
Yeah, no, we were friends before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're both English.
So how's Vision like?
He's just like this guy called Paul. He's just a nice guy.
That's great to hear. So there's another
I made
question.
all that up, by the way. We're not friends.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
I'm not friends with everybody famous.
One thing that's amazing, right, about these things, because I'm fortunate enough to have been with Matt to a couple of premieres. When, I think the thing with Paul Bettany, I think we went to an event and Paul Bettany was there, a long way away. We weren't like, oh. And
because that's what you do.
He's incredibly tall.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, I was amazed by Jude Law. Jude Law was, they're just intimidating.
A lot of actors are quite short.
He just makes.
And then the tall ones stick out. It's like Chris Hemsworth storming down the red carpet. He's like a giant compared to all the other guys.
It's funny with the the figures and stuff behind me, or the Hot Toys ones. They're pretty much all in scale. But when you buy, say, I've got what's her face, Black Widow over there, and she looks tiny. But then you do your little Google search, the height of the actors. And she is fucking tiny. So when you tiny that tiny down, you get this tiny little figure,
I had the chance to stand next to The Rock and Kevin Hart at the same time. That was a funny experience.
Oh wow!
The height difference is I'm like 190, around 6'3", 6'2",
Wow.
6'3".
Are you 6'2"? Are you really that tall?
You're surprisingly tall.
Jeez.
Tall drink of water.
Whoa. What accent was that?
I don't know. I tried.
But
it's almost as good as that Leonard Nimoy Australian accent.
Oh shit, bro.
Glenn Nimoy is just a legend, best actor ever.
Couple of questions from the audience. By the way, we are 25. Are we looking at 50, James, for some free beers?
Yeah.
Just give them away free, even if we don't do it.
Yeah, we've got. I mean, there's got to be
some kind
of. There's got to be some kind of a competition element once we hit 50. We can't just. We've got to do something. And I'm not done talking about actor heights yet.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
Okay. It's a really important topic.
Yeah, there was.
Robert Downey Jr. is very tiny as well, by the way.
Yeah,
I met him for the Dr. Dolittle premiere.
Oh, I've forgotten what I was going to say now. But did you see the news this week that that Glenn Howerton was like second favourite to play Star-Lord?
Who the hell is Glenn Howerton?
From It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Dennis.
Oh, okay.
Dennis from
that again.
Dennis.
Say that all again. I didn't hear any of it. You just said
Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, he wouldn't have been as good as Chris Pratt, so it doesn't matter, does it?
No, he wouldn't. But it's one of those weird kind of amazing, like, because I quite
scary, psychopathic style.
Yeah.
A serial killer.
I know.
You can lose yourself in that show, though. Yeah. Like, I think I watched 12 seasons in like, a week or something like that, and because they have that cadence of the way that they act and talk. And like I walk out of here after a work day, and I'm just sort of like buffing around, and I think it sent me a bit loopy.
It is amazing. I think it is.
Quick question from the audience, by the way. John R. Price wants to know, when designing credits or typography, do you wish you were credited more often as opposed to a piece usually being only attributed to the main artist? I guess.
What if I'm redoing something like The Thing or something? No,
I think so.
Don't give a shit. I don't need any credit for that. Because I didn't even do the original layout, did I? I'm just copying the original poster. I'm just making it high res.
But what if you're doing stuff on like, one of mine, or if I'm doing yours, or
don't give a shit.
I think it's just an element. I agree. I think it's just an element. Like the main gist of the thing is still the other artist itself. It's just you're just helping out a little bit if you're neatening up the title or giving them a different option or something like that.
It is an interesting. It's an interesting debate, though, isn't it? Because to what degree do you do it? Like Matt does a lot for, like with the Paul Mann releases. Matt does most of, if all of those, as well. And it's at what point do you start to kind of license acquired by James Henshaw? In fact, no, I quite like that. Let's start doing that. That sounds like a good idea. Accounts done by.
I'll make you a logo for the bottom of all that.
Yeah.
There's a couple more questions from the fans. Luke 1201 is asking, is Mando coming back? I think that's for the second season piece, maybe. Matt, is that something that's happening?
You're doing another one.
Mandalorian?
Too.
Yeah.
No, not at the moment.
All right. Quick question for the people out there. How do you like the new psychedelic sonar waves that I implemented?
Oh, into the intro?
No.
It's the whole show.
It's in the background. We have it. We have some.
I'm not allowed to watch it because I get
feedback. Exactly.
Get the echo in, so don't.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it tomorrow.
I think it looks wonderful, and I've not seen it yet.
Just one thing. Just going back to the thing about credit though on releases, with Matt. That's a very special thing because obviously me and Matt run Vice Press and we kind of do that. I think if we were starting to employ an outside designer to help us do things like with the pins and stuff, we credit Flory.
That's different. That's different. It's a self-contained thing.
That's the whole thing.
If you've got an artworker doing credits on a big artist's poster, you don't credit the artworker.
Yeah.
You can pay them something.
Unless they go, you pay them. But unless they go, can you credit me? Then you go, yeah, okay, if you want, because who gives a shit really? But it's not.
If it was something like, who's the chap that does his posters are basically like the whole thing is the title and it has all the stuff stuffed into the letters and like it's usually a custom font so it can be as fat as it needs to be.
I can't say
Is it Crabs or one of the
Crabs?
Yeah.
Don't say Crabs.
But then you've got people like
anyway.
Well, I don't know.
But with him, right?
So I just copied it.
But with him, right? That was like that. If someone else came in and he's like, "Oh, I draw all the things. Can you do me that type?" I think then because it's such a big part of the poster and how the poster works, then you would do a whoever like that's a two-man job, you know. Whereas if you're throwing a little logo or fixing up some of the credits for someone, I think that's just a small element. It's kind of is it 10%, 90%, or is it 50-50 to what the piece is?
And I think good examples of that outside of that, when you look at people like Chip Kidd, Tom Muller. Is it Tom Muller? He did a lot of the Marvel stuff recently.
We did the X-Men logo. And
stuff. Age of X, House of X, and all.
Designing
stuff like that.
Brand identity is different.
Yeah. So I think it's just good for us to point out the difference in terms of what we're saying.
So there's a lot of questions, by the way, from the audience today. Pete Hendricks, hi Pete, by the way. Since there are some news about the COVID restriction lifting in the UK, totally like around June. That's what he's saying, at least. I'm not familiar, but is there going to be a new date for the open day at Vice Press?
No, not yet.
2022.
No. If we're
when everything is fully clear, and it's like good.
We just don't want anyone. We don't want to get ill, but we don't want other people to get ill either. And also,
for the sake of a stupid poster,
it'd be a fucking insurance nightmare, mate.
Business James. Business hat.
We can do it outside because the new office has got that space out the front. If people don't mind, like a great big rusty skip.
Get a barbecue going.
We just want to keep everybody. We just want to keep everybody safe, and I don't think, I think if we were going to do an open house, it'd have to be in the summer, so it'd have to be prior to September, and I just think that's far too early with everything that's going off over here. And I do, I do think with as much as like anyone, I can't wait for the COVID restrictions to lift. I think what they're putting in place is still relatively optimistic, stroke ludicrous.
You guys need some perspective. Like where I am, we never reached the heights of what you guys have been able to accomplish over there.
You're about 1,000 people dead in total, right?
Yeah, something like that. And like we locked the whole joint down for 700 cases or something like that. So we never got up to it just running wild through the community. We locked down for months at a time last year when you were all running around with your ice lollies in summertime, and just kind of got rid of it. And we now are at 0 cases, but you will still get things pop up here. And we went into like a 5-day lockdown just the other day. New Zealand, the same thing. Like they were the best. They nailed it early, but they still have these things pop up, and you'll get 30, 40. And if you don't lock it down, hopefully, like, we're all going to get the jab and everything. So as we progress, this will stop happening. But it just seems never ending. So to say like anything's happening this year when you're trying to inoculate bloody millions of people, I'd give up. Just expect nothing to happen this year, guys.
Yeah. And we'd rather do stuff well rather than half-assed and have to, I just think it's worth waiting. And we've got a lot on this year as well in terms of, like Matt says, we're building a bespoke office at the moment. We've just taken over a big warehouse space, and that's kind of being built out and customized and stuff.
Didn't get the fireman's pole though.
No, not yet. No.
It's only one story, isn't it? So we don't have that upstairs. I really want a Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that'll be stage 2 when we need.
You have to build a deck on the roof or something. So a beer garden.
Well, the roof is structurally sound to take. It's built so that there is a second level, and it's structurally sound enough to do it. It's just we would have to go through. To use it, we'd have to use building regs and then go to boring stuff that you don't want to talk about on a podcast. But
certainly boring, yeah.
This is not grand designs over here.
Eventually, we will have a fireman's pole. This is our home to stay. Not fucking doing this.
Indoor trampoline as well would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Basically, I want Tom Hanks' apartment from Big.
Yeah.
That's where I want to work.
And at the moment, it looks like the lair from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
A lot of pizza.
We basically work
skateboard around. Menthol or regular?
By the way, guys, Spider-Man title announcement and a couple images for the new one.
Yep.
How do you like the fake outs? And one of the fans is asking, by the way, Luke is asking you, Matt, do you have the gig for the poster?
No, I didn't. I've got no one's hired me to do a Spider-Man poster as of yet, but I tweeted about it because I wanted to make it clear to everybody that I'll do it.
What you want to do is wait until about 4 days before the film's about to come out, and then Matt will get an email and say, "Oi, we got this film. We didn't know it was coming out." Oh.
Sometimes things can be a little bit tight timeline-wise, and I get a little bit stressed. Yes.
Just do it in 24 hours like Drew did.
Yeah, that's the best stuff, though. That WandaVision, which has gone down really well, I did it in 5 days.
Are you going to chase your wife down the street in a parka and a big pair of boots? Because frankly, I think that would be hilarious.
What, me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Can we get some?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you referencing?
Yeah,
the story, the thing story. He came bursting out of the house, didn't he, when Dylan got home? And he's like,
to get the reference? Yeah, the gear. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Can we a little bit speculate about
tumbleweed in here? Yeah.
Are we going to go back to WandaVision? Are we talking about WandaVision now?
Before we get to WandaVision, I want you to speculate a little bit about what's going to happen in Spider-Man 3. Questions from the audience also. Do you think the prior MCU, not MCU Spider-Mans, the Sony Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, are they going to be in there?
I think if they are, it's going to be like 5 minutes and done. Maybe
at the end, third act.
There might be one at the beginning, sort of a bit like Spider-Verse, where it had the grown-up Spider-Man, and then it was like rug pull. So there might be a bit of that or something. If I was Kevin Feige and I was in charge, I would make that stuff as secondary as possible.
Yeah, it'd be like traveling through the multiverse. They traveled if they do that. It'll be kind of like
just like bump into him at the end or something.
Yeah, it's kind of weaving it in. So it'll be quite interesting to see how they do. I think it'll just be more to establish those worlds exist.
I don't think it'll be the main plot. I think the main plot will be a nice surprise.
I don't think it's going to be like what Warner Brothers are planning to do with the Keaton Batman, which is something
well, what they can do is they can do the Sinister Six, right? Can't they? They can do the Sinister Six, but have them from 6 different universes.
Sure, but
that'd be quite cool.
That's what they're going to do, because they've sort of rumored about Doc Ock and stuff, haven't they? So that's what they're going to do.
Well, they're more than rumored. I think the villains are in. Like, that was pretty much announced, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you never know where things are coming from. But...
And then that's how it comes in at the end, where you've got all the Spider-Man fighting him at the end.
Because I think this next stage is going to be quite interesting, because I think you've got WandaVision, which directly leads into multiverse, because she's in Multiverse of Madness, isn't she? And then you've got Doctor Strange that's in Spider-Man Phone Home. And then you've got...
so they're a little trilogy unto themselves. It seems like that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see a good article.
It's a way, I think it's what they're doing to reset and bring in stuff like mutants and stuff.
Yeah.
To build up to something crazy like Galactus or something like that.
I did see a cool article, and I mean, I'm not saying I necessarily agree with this, but Spider-Man's almost being used in these kind of wider, massive kind of storytelling things, and it'd be kind of nice just to see a Spider-Man film that was just mostly about Spider-Man.
That's what I wanted from the end of 2. I'm like, oh, sweet. So we get out, and it's no comic books are comic books, but like, we love Spider-Man for reasons. And I do love the first 2 films. I think they're brilliant. I think they're a brilliant reinvention and a different take on it that still fits with what Spider-Man is, like, better than any of the others have. But I just really wanted a nice Spider-Man film set mostly in New York with MJ and Aunt May and everyone running around and carrying on, and whether it was Craven, which would have been cool, or whatever.
Paul Giamatti is right.
Sure, whatever. It made perfect sense that he's gone. That at the end there, bang, everyone knows who he is. Oh, okay. Well, Craven hunts the what is it, the biggest game or whatever. That's his whole thing. He knows who this kid is. He's going to take him down. Comes to New York, whatever. Maybe some of the other. We still do the Sinister Six in that way, or
going to tie in with Black Panther as well. I thought that.
And they could have done. They could have done that shit too. Yeah. Like, that'd be brilliant. I just don't
maybe he killed
know what this is. Yeah, whatever. I don't know, but I just don't know what this is, and I think that's where it gives me a little bit of nerves. But saying that, trust in Big Kev, like he hasn't steered us wrong yet. And this might actually end up being more interesting. And who says that we don't then get that new contract and we don't get our film later, depending on what happens in this thing?
I am conscious of like the fan casting in terms of or fan plotting, which is kind of, you know, I think me and you are on the same page there, Flora. We're like, oh, it'd be cool if this, but going back to that point, Kevin Feige's never put a foot wrong, and actually the spectacle has been full on worth it and made it more exciting. And again, just look.
I like surprises, and like WandaVision so far has been full of surprises, and that's kind of good. That's why I like The Last Jedi, because it was like something different, you know?
Yeah. We'll be singing this film's praises come Christmas time, no doubt about it. And I think it'll be brilliant. But it as all this comes out, it just feels like a lot. It just sounds like a lot.
Yeah. It's like, because I think it's going to be one big arc almost, isn't it? From Wanda right through to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think, but again, you know, I think what Wanda's doing really well. So I kind of know, I've read Vision Quest and I've read West Coast Avengers and I've read Tom King's Visions and stuff like that. So know those, and you kind of know the beats they're going for, but it's still surprising. It's still amazing, and it's still, you get to the end of this episode, and almost seeing that Vision Quest reveal, you're like, they fucking did it. They fucking.
By the way, we are in spoiler territory, people. So letting you know.
Oh, we were the whole time. This is like white.
Just
Vision,
making sure.
And he's
just
like
making
got weird dead eyes because he's not got like the Mind Stone anymore, and that's like means that he's going to fight the other Vision. And it's going to be like good Vision versus bad Vision. It's going to be amazing, and then they're going to merge together into one Vision.
Did she create or steal a Mind Stone from another reality? Because he was yellow energy. She was making him like, I love all the colors of the energy. It's like just so perfectly.
Because she came from that. That's the same energy, isn't it?
Well, I know, but she doesn't use that. It amplified her powers. I get that she has some of it inside her, but did she use it to form, whether or not it's a stable crystal or it's even literally existing? Like, it's pretty interesting to think about.
Yeah,
I think she should be, since she
to him to form, like, because when you look at the kids as well, it's like the kids are kind of something that she's created and they've got powers.
It's not going to be nice when she has to give them up.
No. Is it going to be something that she's kind of given part of herself and kind of pushed that? It's like, it could be anything, and it's
if it follows the comics, then she has to give the kids up.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't fit. They don't really.
They could say that's not so nice, and they might keep them, I suppose.
Well, they come back.
They might, and they might. They do come back.
Yeah, but the storylines at the end.
Is it Wiccan and Speed? In the comics,
like it's Wiccan for sure. I don't know about the other kid.
Yeah.
They do need the new. If you look at it too, like there's been a lot more kids popping up, and whether or not they age up, like Rambo or whatever. But there's been kids like being seeded around these superheroes.
It's going to be Miss Marvel
because they're obviously going to age up slowly and come into their own as well.
Well, they want to be going down the Star Wars route, don't they? Like in 40 years' time, they need to have some kind of characters that are kind of built up, because Marvel, quite sensibly, they're going to be wanting this to be a franchise that in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years' time, you've still got relevant characters. And like, again, in the comics, you've got all of these different characters that take on the mantle of Captain America, that take on the mantle of Iron Man, and some of those are. I mean, I've read some amazing stories where the Captain America isn't Steve Rogers or whatever. You know, Iron Man isn't Tony Stark. It's I can't remember the girl's name now, but they're yeah, that's it. They're amazing. Some of them.
As long as the story is good and it makes somewhat logical sense. Obviously, you can rewrite anything. Like, she's suddenly got magic, whereas we always thought that, you know, it was Mind Stone stuff, which I think that's what's so good about WandaVision.
That's how she
actually improving things.
That's how she survives the Mind Stone, because they said nobody else survived, is because it turns out she was already a little bit magic. That's just like that's clever, that shit.
What they're really clever at is almost taking these plot holes that probably they could have been planned, but they might not have been, but almost like plot holes. Like, oh, she's never been referred to as the Scarlet Witch. Spoiler, she's the fucking Scarlet Witch. But it's like,
this is chaos magic. Oh my god!
I know. And it's like, oh god. And they're kind of taking what was kind of maybe Whedon felt was silly or whatever, or kind of deliberately left it out. But then it becomes such a big part, but in a way that doesn't feel crammed in or corny. There was an episode.
It all comes from a place of character.
Yeah, makes sense at that point.
They're like real characters, so you can just relate to it.
They don't feel obliged to rush things, I think, which is really good.
Yeah.
The writing and the acting on this show is out of control good. Like it's just so good. Even that, the gymnastics of getting all this stuff to work and be believable, and like some of these episodes, like the sort of first two that we watched, like there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, what is this?" Like because they didn't have that reference, obviously, of the old stuff. But those could have been actual episodes of those shows. They were so perfectly done. Like and then coming back to them this week with the whole and her DVD case and all that, it's just so good.
It was brave what they did very early on with that. And again, using like the framing with the aspect ratios, like when she's going down into into Agatha's lair, and it suddenly kind of starts to pull out, and
then they essentially trolled us with Quicksilver as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god, a massive troll. Oh yeah, he's just fake.
Did I tell you the story about? Oh, we probably haven't talked about it on here at least, but because I like it. It comes on at 7 p.m. here, and the kids are sort of in bed, and like I sit down at about 7:30, so no one's really spoiled anything. No one's had time to watch the whole thing. I always sit down, I get my drink and my chips, and it's like just a nice little Friday routine. So I watch it in here with my headphones on, so no one can bother me. And I'm sitting in there, and it was the Quicksilver reveal at the end, and I'm just in here by myself, like I can't hear what anyone else is doing, and I'm just like, oh, ooh. Like, anyway, I finished the episode. I'm like, yeah, that was great. I walk out, and Laura's like looking at me, walk like that. I'm like jipping and bopping. Oh, it's so good. And she doesn't watch it. She doesn't get any of it. So I'm sitting there like this, and she's like, oh, you're happy? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, I thought something had happened with your work. I thought you were working on a picture and you'd like lost the file. So I was like just staying out here. I'm like, why? And she goes, because you were just going, fuck, oh, shit, what? And I'm like, I didn't even realize. I thought I was just sitting nice and quietly. This is cool. I like this show.
What would you guys say is your favorite oh shit moment in this series so far?
Oh, it's got to be that, I think, just for the implications of it. I don't even really fully like that they did it, because I just want all that X-Men stuff gone. That those movies aren't good. I don't like those characters.
I don't think he is. I think he's fake anyway. I don't think.
Oh yeah. Well, she sort of said like she just pulled what she could, kind of thing, because the dead body was too far away.
But even that comment, comment wasn't like I've just pulled what I could. It kind of, to me, was very much like it didn't close it off completely. I know you and I have spoken about this. So it kind of, for the sake of that, it kind of leaves it open that if they decide to go down that route, or if that route opens,
I think the mutants is the whole thing. Like, when they're going in and out of the hex, their mutant genes are getting activated, aren't they? So I think it's just going to turn out that mutants are around.
But
and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were mutants all along. They just didn't know. And so there'll be other mutants like that, and they'll just be like, "Oh, what it needs
to be, I think, is that there is a small school somewhere in New York. There is a Professor X. He has his 4 or 5
completely secret and underground.
Yes, that's it. He has his 4 or 5 students. Like it's a low key thing. He's obviously a bit older. He knows everything. Professor X needs to know everything about the X gene. Oh, I dubbed it the X gene. Oh, isn't that a bit like cool? Name it after yourself. He's the only one that's really known about it and been working on it for years. This wave goes out whenever the hex explodes, activates, what do they say, worldwide, maybe a few thousand X genes or something like that. And then the X-Men themselves need to become more front-facing to help with this crisis of kids' heads turning on fire and people blowing off roofs with their eyes all of a sudden. I think that's a cool way. They have to have been around. They can't just be created now, because I can't have Wolverine come in as a 16-year-old kid being like, the schnick. Like, there needs to be a hierarchy of ages and experience and stuff.
But then that's kind of a cool parallel then with House of M as well, isn't it? Where you've got this world that was created by Wanda, but it kind of brings it into the logic of this universe that actually when her hex gets destroyed at the end of this, it sends out like this kind of pulse wave thing, Yeah.
I can't fucking wait, man.
I know.
How many more episodes is there?
Just one.
One.
One more, right? Number
What
9, right?
Oh no, it's alright because there's like Falcon and Winter Soldier.
In 2 weeks. So good.
James, what was your favorite moment so far?
Oh, there was a moment a couple of episodes ago where I think I messaged Matt and Florrie about it. It might have been in our group, but it was just a really subtle moment, and it was when Wanda was kind of trying to convince Vision that everything was fine, everything that this was normal, and I think it was the same episode where she had the twins, and I just think there's all the big moments that are the big reveals and stuff like that, but that to me was an episode where you thought, holy fucking shit, she is this as an actress, she is nailed this on. If she doesn't win all of the TV awards for this, something is massively wrong.
And it's also both of them too. It's both of them too, because Paul Bettany's so good, and even Evan Peters, who's a good actor. He's been in other stuff. He was in the X-Men films for no time. You can get to do anything, but he was the best acting in that episode where they were sitting on the hay bales or whatever, and he's just like talking. They're just talking. That's the best bits of this show. Like, there's some incredible dialogue and acting and stuff in it. Like with about Vision in this last one with the what is grief but love persevering. I'm like, what a fucking line! What are you talking about?
That's my favorite bit so far.
On the bed.
The acting between those two in that scene is incredible. Really good.
I have to say I really enjoyed what they did with this episode, with the last one, when they basically showed her experience of those TV shows, where it's all coming from, and how they incorporated that all over the season so far. And I think that's what I really enjoyed, like to see those actual moments, even in the background, just seeing something like a tiny bit on it, that was that episode.
Having the Dick Van Dyke show like that was really good.
And I think other than that, I mean, Catherine Hahn is amazing in this. I mean, she's always been one of the best things, if not the best thing, in anything that she's in. She's
Step Brothers.
No, she's in Bad Moms. She's hilarious in Bad, but she's like a secondary character. She's like the main character's mate in any kind of rom-com film that she's in.
The wacky friend.
Yeah.
She was also very cool in Parks and Recreation, by the way, since Gareth Griffin is mentioned that the whole time. So.
Oh, is he kid? Yeah.
No, it is her in Step Brothers. She's the actual brother's wife who is like crazy in love with John C. Reilly. Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean,
And they like have sex in the.
Oh God! Yeah. Sorry, that was very loud. Yeah.
She's absolutely hilarious because she's like, and when they sing, he's making them sing in the car, the family, and the kids are freakish. Remember this scene? It's just
I've only seen it like once. I don't know. It's not one of mine for some reason.
Matt, can we go back to your artwork a little bit, and you talk us a little bit through what you did there, what was the idea and stuff like that? I know you were you're super fast with that.
It was really fast, so I had to sort of think on my feet, and then it was clear to me that the TV world was not real. So came up with the concept of having the TV and then reflected. Initially, I think I was going to do like the real world costumes. But then it was like, I think it was either them or me that decided it'd be better to have the comic book style ones. Just makes
the Halloween episode ones.
It makes a better image, but then also as the show progressed, it sort of made the artwork better because both the reflection and in the TV from the sort of fantasy world that she's made. So it kind of just gives it a little bit more meaning.
If I remember with the costumes, you're like, oh, what should I use or whatever, but it was more so what you could use as well, because they'd shown the trailer and they've shown those outfits in it, but we know that she's getting a costume at the end. Like, we've seen bits and pieces, but they obviously don't want to reveal any of that before the show is over, because that's going to be a big thing. She is the Scarlet Witch, as we know now. We didn't know that at the time, so they'd pretty much only shown black and white gear and then a snippet of the Halloween episode. And it was just like, well, what? And they have such good contrast. Those costumes are so bright, and you get the nice silhouette of each of them. You can tell easily who they are upside down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That was another thing. I think that was another good thing with what they did with Agatha Harkness was when they had her, she went from being that kind of casual wear that was a bit witchy, but then she went into full-blown purple leatherette kind of super villain costume, didn't she?
That thing at the end last week.
Yeah.
She's flying with a
yeah. Which kind of then makes sense because obviously you got Scarlet Witch reflection in the Mind Stone, didn't you? When she was kind of doing that and it had the little
and everything, yeah.
So it kind of makes sense and it contextualizes and makes it less jarring in the next episode if suddenly Scarlet Witch has got her own kind of full-on "this is me now" kind of thing, and is almost under that.
Kind of finds herself through all this horse shit and.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna like all come on, isn't it? Like. She'll make the suit out of her own mind.
And they made a point to say that she is creating matter. Like it does.
Yeah, because
things do
Monica's
exist.
Clothes came out, didn't they? And they were still like 70s clothes.
Which is why I'm not sure what's going to happen with the kids and Vision, because they can exist outside this hex if done properly. So
they're gonna be like Olaf and Frozen.
Yeah, but what about Frozen 2? The saddest part. Oh.
Yeah. By the way, Matt, you also did you flipped it around, which also looks really cool. This came from the Reddit idea.
Yeah. Well,
that's cool.
It's because the whole thing is sort of a spin on my Stranger Things poster, anyway, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
It's a massive
comic drinking.
So there's that way you can have it either way.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing I did was I really wanted to have the dot of the eye, it be yellow to signify the Mind Stone, which has kind of worked out good because then they've had the Mind Stone in this last episode. So it's like, yeah, cool. That worked out by mistake.
Yeah,
you were
letting shine through that there might be. There's definitely going to be on Marvel UK. There's going to be a giveaway soon. So people keep your eyes peeled on Marvel_UK on their Instagram or Twitter. Where is it? Both. Okay, there you go. And is there going to be some more? I think you hinted at something.
Can't say.
We're gonna leave it at that, people, because somebody wrote in the chat earlier they were looking for.
It's going to be very difficult to get hold of. Basically, that's the main takeaway. It's very difficult to get hold of.
All right.
Not going to be for sale.
That's great. Speaking of your work, because you also announced that there's going to be a store opening soon. So what can we expect from your store?
Unicorns that were like dented or scratched, or the boxes are bashed in, or they don't stand up quite properly. Those a bit cheaper because people want them. So it was like, okay, you can have them. I've got a few of them, and then some posters.
That's great. What's it? What the poster? What are the posters going to be?
Batman poster. Was it? Yeah, Batman 1966.
Mm-hmm. So the APs probably. Right?
Yeah. What else was there? Oh, Star Wars. There was a Star Wars Rise of Skywalker and an Indiana Jones. Got those.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Crystal Skull.
All right.
I'm gonna make a Crystal Skull poster. I'm gonna do it.
You should.
I'm doing the nuke as well. I'm doing the nuke. I'm gonna have the fridge. I'm gonna have him stood there looking at the nuke because I love that bit. In the faces. The only bad bit is the monkeys. And the gopher.
Do we want to get into Indy Jones now? Because
let's do it.
I watched all four of them.
Script is decent.
I watched all four of them.
Script is decent. Acting's decent.
I watch a podcast people might know, Kind of Funny, like Greg Miller and his crew. I watch all their stuff and they do their in-review thing. So they do one a week or two a week or whatever, and they're doing Indiana Jones. So usually with that stuff, I like to listen to them discuss it. So I'll just watch it before and then watch the review. So I've watched all four in the last couple of weeks. And Indiana Jones is weird because there is big differences between them, like quality-wise, and there is some tonal differences. Like the second one's kind of like nasty and gross, and whereas the first one's just like classic adventure and it's like pretty much spot on. The third one's a little bit more friendly and fun, but I think probably perfect melding of it all. The fourth one doesn't stick out as much as I remember. I've only seen it once. I only saw it once in the cinema and was like, it was pretty shit. And then watched it again just the other day, and I think I was talking to you guys, going, it's all right. And I tweeted like, it's pretty good. Like
because there's been a whole lot of Transformers movies since then. So the quality of it goes up.
The movie looks terrible. Like it's that shiny face shit all over everything, and the CG backgrounds and stuff. It looks bad. It sucks, right?
Yeah, cinematography dreadful.
The nuke thing, the silly CG car chase through the jungle, the monkey crap sucks. All of that could have been, if they had have made this movie 5 years earlier, 10 years earlier, could have been avoided, because they wouldn't have been able to as easily just do whatever. It would have been Shia LaBeouf is up on a rock going, oh shit, ooh, then looks over, there's one monkey there that goes, and then he just swings for the car and either hits it or doesn't. Like, that's all it would have been. But because they were like, look at this bloody computer, look what it can do. Hey, George is like, how many monkeys can you have? And it just, I don't know why he sounds like Morgan Freeman. But they're just like, oh, we could put 1,000 monkeys in, and like, bang, go for it.
When
they
you
had too much at their disposal.
Have you watched the behind the scenes making of?
No.
Because there's a whole bit about them making that car chase, and they show all the footage because they did most of it for real. And there wasn't a cliff because it was just like down a road with a few trees. And then they were like, we need more trees and we need a cliff. So they just added all that in. But the actual chase looks really good when it was just them driving down a road.
That's the problem. Like, back in the day, they had to come up with smart kind of ways to do these simple things. Like that tank chase on the horse.
Lens flare.
Yeah. In 3, the tank chase on the horse and everything, and how it keep... Indiana Jones is very well choreographed, long chase action scenes. That's what those movies are, and puzzle solving. Like, that's what they are. And when you can't, and the motorbike chase and stuff like that through the school, that stuff really feels pretty good, because it feels relatively real. Like, they're on a motorbike in the streets, and there's some CG cars or whatever. That feels much better. When you go to the extent of adding cliffs and trees and that fucking thing that's like not realistic at all, and then it crushes their car like 75 times, and they're all fine.
And then they're
just fine,
on a tree bouncing around.
Yeah,
and shit.
You've got. I think
that's fucking ridiculous.
Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, I think it's been shown to say, operate best when they're given restrictions. I think the case in I think your case in points for those are when you look at things like Jaws and Jurassic Park versus Ready Player One, and then like with Star Wars and things versus the prequel trilogy and stuff like that. It's just like, it just bloats it, doesn't it? And it takes away fundamentally from what they're the core thing that they're good at, which is storytelling. Like you say, Crystal Skull's actually an enjoyable film if you take away a lot of the bloat.
Rubber snake when he's in the sand pit.
And, I hated that.
and then he's like, I don't want to get out. It's just stupid and hilarious. And I like the joke when he's beating loads of guys up, and Shia LaBeouf's like, I thought you were a teacher, and then he's like, part-time. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Shia LaBeouf's not even terrible in though.
No, Shia LaBeouf is pretty terrible in it.
But he's not.
He's not the worst thing about it. People don't like him because they thought. People don't like him because they thought, oh, he's going to take over, and we don't want the Transformers kid to take over. If you actually look at who the character is and what he does, like, he's pretty good, and he's interested in what's going on, and like there's that push and pull, and when he finds out that he's his son, and why didn't you make him finish school, like all that sort of stuff. It's fine. It's not the worst film of all time as people make out it to be.
I guess I have to rewatch it then.
It's fine. It's worth a rewatch. There are worse films. It's quite enjoyable.
It's aged not too badly compared to a lot of other films, especially from around about then.
Batman and Robin.
I think watching it closely to the other ones actually helped. I think watching it more closely to the other ones helped, because you can see the parts that do work. You can see the heart that it does have in parts of it that.
She's really good at it. Karen as well. She's really good at it.
Yeah, all that stuff's great. And the bit with what is it? I'm sure there was other girls. There were, but they all had the same problem. Well, what was that? They weren't you, honey. And then it like plays the song and goes to her, and she's just like, she's back. She's beaming at Indy. You know, like it's stupid and it's.
But it's also
over the
got
top, but
it's also got
it does
the
have heart.
thingy, Ray Winstone saying Jonesy a lot, and I hated that. Jonesy. That was the
Why
worst.
is he in it? Because he and they said this on that podcast.
Wasn't Salah.
Why does he
like
keep
Salah,
being
right?
in it? Why does he keep being in it? He could have just been at the start, double crossed him, got knocked out. But he's like they're just the Russians are carrying him around the jungle. Like what for?
They thought he was like the new Salah character.
Yeah, he's just fucking annoying.
Like,
and for Ray Winston
comedy.
to be annoying, that's hard to do because he's usually really good.
Yeah.
James, a couple people are thirsty, I guess, and we have 30 likes. So
I thought the cap was 50.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
500.
Yeah, we can adapt the. So what do we do? What are we gonna do? I think somebody has to come on and sing a song, in order to get a preprint.
Right.
Maybe not sing.
Here's
a song.
what we're gonna do, Tom. Does everybody here that's watching want a poster?
I'm not sure.
So
I guess
look at
so.
the names, scan up and down, look at the names, and I'll just say stop, and then that's the name.
Okay, go ahead.
Stop. You didn't stop.
I stopped on Vice Press Open channel. We're gonna keep it. Okay, let me do. I'm gonna start on top. Okay, but I'm gonna start on top. Yeah.
No, get everyone to post. Get everyone in the chat to post a number.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then Matt just says a number, and whoever's number that is. And if there's 50 people that say 69,
numbers people.
Numbers people.
Say a number between 1 and 30.
1 and 30.
Okay.
Everyone post a number.
And then we will. I'm going to say it.
I think it should be. I'm sorry, not 1 and 30. Let's do 1 and 50. I think.
Okay, pick a number between 1 and 50. We'll talk for 5 more minutes while people do that. And
exactly.
Then we'll,
What's your favorite drinking song? Go-to drinking song, or let's say go-to karaoke song.
Go-to karaoke song.
I like
Handbags and Glad Bags by Stereophonics. I used to sing a lot. Just because it's in my register, man. But I was in a band for years, so we used to play cover songs all the time.
Yeah.
There's like 3 different people.
Mine would be 12. Like The Touch or something like that.
Yeah, I'd love to see you sing that at karaoke.
Which one was it, Matt? I'm sorry.
The Touch from Transformers. I'd just be like,
you got the touch.
Flory, what's yours?
Oh Christ! Like I'm a karaoke fiend. Like I'll sing anything, even if you're singing it. I'm probably going to sing it over the top of you without the microphone. So,
okay. Is that all we need?
Power ballads, just power ballads.
Yeah, Journey or something like that. Journey's
I'm going to go with Every Woman with the Whitney Houston version.
Oh yeah.
Since we had Snowball or New York Comic Con, we have to go to a karaoke bar.
Little Bird likes Magic Dance by David Bowie. So
Dance the Magic Dance.
He really likes that.
This numbers thing is a mess. Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. Let them choose. Then we'll pick a number, and if multiple people have got that number, we'll have a fight.
Okay, all the numbers in. We're gonna give you 10 more seconds to put the numbers in.
There's only like
there's multiple numbers. I guess.
And then do we have to just do who's closest?
Clever. The cleverest number
closest
would be. That's the thing. A couple people did like 12, for example. In there multiple times.
Well, I'm not saying 12 now, am I?
Of course not.
But
it's not 12. It's not 12. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But yeah, there are multiple numbers twice, and some are over 50. So maybe people should think about that as well, because we said 1 and 50.
Basic instructions.
Basic instructions, exactly. And yeah, so I guess we're good to go now. With the numbers.
The number is 17.
Did you read it?
That's the number.
Okay, we got it. Hold up. I need to go through. It's Ellie Sparkman got number 17. Gareth Griffiths got number 17. And we got also Rob Mohan with the 17.
Oh, so we only got 3 people with 17.
Winners, there you go.
Well, they can all have posters, there you go.
Yeah, they can all have a set of Cornetto trilogy posters. There you go.
Or if they've already bought them.
They get 1 each and they have to move it.
If they've already bought them, they can have something else.
Yeah, something else from Editions. Yeah, they can. Or if it's in stock, actually. Drop me an email at Gareth probably already texted me.
info@vicepress.com.
Vice-press.com. Thank you for joining in. And Gareth, I'm only joking.
I'll put that in the chat so people know.
Yeah.
Hit the man up. I'm gonna pin that one, so it's always there.
Have we got any other questions, Tom? I'm conscious we've been wobbling on a lot, and
I think the people were talking and commenting on I think on the indie talk a little bit. They were talking basically the same kind of fun things that we mentioned with the cars and stuff like that. So yeah, they're all down for that. So people, if you have more questions, just hit us up in the comments. We really appreciate it, but I think you appreciate also like the insights of the Vice Press insights on Indiana Jones trilogies, quadruple. What's the four?
Quadrilogy.
Quadrilogy. Thank you. Yeah.
They made that up, didn't they?
Oh yeah. Quadrilogy.
When like Alien, I remember when Alien came out on the quadrilogy in a big alien head. You remember that? And the discs were inside the skull.
Let's hear. What's your favorite quadrilogy?
Oh.
What, like the
Google's quadrilogy? How many four films franchises are there?
Because it would have been Alien.
I don't know. Saw has.
It would have been Alien. Then they did loads more, didn't they? Like, and it's.
Yeah, anything that gets to 4 gets ruined because they just keep
like
going.
Prometheus and
all those Covenant.
But where the first is all right, actually.
Like, even because Die Hard really loses it, doesn't it? Like that falls off the cliff edge.
Fuck me dead.
Yeah, it's best trilogies is probably better, isn't it?
That's it. But then again,
so what's your favorite trilogy?
Mine is the Star Trek Khan trilogy. Star Trek 2, Star Trek 3, Star Trek 4.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
Nerd shit right there.
Fuck off.
What is it, Flory?
I'm so bad. I said it's fucking nerd shit, Star Trek.
He fucking loves Star Trek. He loves it. He watched Star Trek Next Generation because I made him, and then he actually loves it now. So
yeah, I did like it. It's very good. After you get past the like 72 episodes that are terrible,
terrible shit ones until you get to good.
Favorite trilogy? I don't know, like because I'm really bad at these favorite things.
Probably the highest quality trilogy, right?
It's a very good trilogy.
Lord of the Rings. What's up with
that? Yeah. The third
I will say Lord of the Rings, like seeing that in cinemas was obviously incredible, and it was a groundbreaking achievement, all that sort of stuff. And I bought the extendeds back in the day on DVD. Don't even think I ever actually unwrapped the third one, just because once you've seen it, you've seen it. And I haven't watched them properly for a long time. And then I was working on something recently. I don't know if it could have to do with Lord of the Rings or not. So I watched all three through the extendeds all together. They're really good, those. They're pretty good.
Gareth is throwing in Toy Story.
There's 4.
That's a quadrilogy, yeah. Well, that's a quadrilogy then, isn't it?
Yeah, he's throwing in for that.
Oh, it's a quadrilogy. Yeah.
Toy Story 4 is really good as well.
Yeah, Duke Kaboom.
Yeah. By the way, I think because somebody was asking about your Star Wars collectibles in the back there, James. That's all Lego, right?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, I've got Lego, got a bit of Ghostbusters, the Plasma series. We've got some 3A stuff, the Judge Dredd 3A stuff. Got some James Bond vehicles. Yeah, and I've got. I mean, this is where all my childhood comes to die. Big Lego fan.
Optimus Prime. Look.
Ghostbusters shelf down here.
Look.
What happened to Flory, by the way?
I got that.
Collectibles or something.
This is the shelf that people don't see very much. Is the one over here that's got my Batman black and white statues on.
Yeah, I'm on Matt right now, showing off his Transformer toys.
I can't get into it. It's got the Matrix in there, but I can't get into the thing.
There you go.
Look at this guy. I like this guy.
Oh yeah,
I'm back on Flory. Hold up. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Should I get my Infinity Gauntlet that lights up?
Yeah.
Sure. Is that the Hasbro? Is that the Legends one?
Yeah, hold up. I'm gonna grab it 1 second.
Look, none of us are gonna be on camera. We're just playing with toys. I'll just sit here like this. Look right into the camera.
Oh yeah, the Thanos Hot Toys.
Mine's just there.
You know, with the Hot Toys, do they do the same as what Gentle Giant used to do, which was do 3D scans of the actors?
No, they don't.
They don't.
Okay. That's what's fucking crazy about it. Some wizard over in Hong Kong just sculpts it by hand for the most part.
Put me on. Look, I've got Optimus Prime's got the Matrix in there.
Mine's in the mail.
The coolest shit of that.
Is that my one, Matty?
Yeah.
No, that's not. Is it? Well, did you get the sticker for the arm, or did it
came with it inside the box?
That's the most exciting thing I've heard this week.
They're just in the top of the box, so like
that is a big ass.
The people that mailed it me, they just put it in.
Look how big that is. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, mine's sitting just here with I got Nebula last week as well, or the other week. Okay. So she's sitting there too. He's really incredible. He's probably the most imposing one that I have. Like people walk in and go, "Holy shit!" Like that's cool, which makes sense for the character.
Yeah. That's my latest acquisition. I managed to finally get the Brian Bond Joker black and white, which is
that was close.
Tom's gone down.
Smash.
Thanos needs to lay down, I guess. He
has
a little bit to drink.
Here's one for Matt just to annoy him.
Ooh, fuck off! I can't believe you got that.
Oh, did you not get it?
Grimlock comes tomorrow.
I don't have any. Oh, I've got a Ghostbusters Transformer.
I have a little fun thing. I have a K2SO over there. He's like, he's in the like built in. Like I have him sitting, and he has a John Wick pencil by Jason Atmoston in his hand, like a bloody pencil that's for eyes without face one, and like he's holding it.
I don't think that's canon. That's not canon.
I can trump all of your Jason Edmonston stuff.
Okay, here we go.
I've got the Michael Keaton Batman eyes.
And nobody else has that?
It's the original.
Oh, the original.
I've got the one original, yeah.
Fancy
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would show you my whole room, but it's tricky. I've got Hot Toys all around me, so I win. In sheer idiocy of how much you've spent on stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a lot of expensive Transformers, as you know.
Yes,
that's true. Okay, but that's maybe another episode where we're gonna do share close-ups of our office. We can set that up with the camera. I'm gonna talk you through, guys. I'm gonna do the technical part of that, and so we're gonna make it happen.
Can we wait until my new office is built because I'm building an office?
Nah, because I don't want it to look the best. I don't want it to look better than mine.
Are we gonna do a cribs with the new office when that's built, Matt?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yo, and welcome to my crib.
There was a couple of questions. Is there anything that is in the works from you guys that we can talk about?
Transformers,
you and Flory, you teased it a little bit, right?
Yeah, we're doing like a whole range of shit for Transformers.
So many things.
That's why we're obsessed with Transformers even more than usual, because when you're doing a project like this, it's quite big, and you're doing posters and T-shirts and stuff. You start doing research, and then you start buying the toys, and you realise that they're tax deductible. So you buy more toys, and now he's buying them. And then I'm like, oh shit, he's bought another one. I'm going to buy one, and then it's becoming.
2 weeks ago, I had no Transformers, even though I love the film. Now I think in this house there's about 15 or 20 of them. And I'm on every morning I get up and I look at this Chinese site that he showed me where they have like all these knockoff ones that are insane. Every morning I go, ooh, look at this guy. Oh no, that's not the right green. Maybe.
So here's a question for you, Flory. Do you buy yourself toys more than you buy your kids toys?
Well, what's happened here is that we sat down. Yes is the first bit. But what's happened here is that the little man, he's 4, and he saw the Transformers there, and it's like just woof, it's gone in, like it's his thing now. He just absolutely loves them. He's mesmerized by how they change from car to, because he was like, I just love cars. So obviously a car that then turns into a giant man with he calls them pew things, they're pew things, not guns, because he doesn't know what a gun is. That's pew things, and they pew each other. They don't kill each other. But anyway, he loves it. So obviously, once you get the green light that the kid likes it, you can obviously buy them for yourself. But we're just like sitting in here. A new one comes and he's like, transform it, Dad. What does it turn into? So it's become like a fun thing, you know.
There's nothing more sweet, I think, than buying, like, I mean, I don't have kids, but buying kids stuff that kind of really resonates with you and they have the same level of excitement. 2 seconds, I'm going to show you something. So for Christmas, I've got these Batman Ertl toys back from when Batman '89 came out. So the original cars.
That's pretty cool.
So the Batmobile and Joker. So My little nephew, he loved playing with these. He always used to come up like kind of all like slyly and point at them and say, "Can I play with them?" And he loves them. So for Christmas, so we give all the kids a budget for Christmas of what we spend on them. I managed to find on eBay some original mint in package ones of these, and spent probably a little bit more than what our budget was for each kid just to get them. And that's like, you do know he's going to open them. And I'm like, no, that's cool. That's part of the fun. Like, I've managed to get them that are mint in pack so we can open them, like, and have that. And it was, like, we were really nervous if it was like going to be like, what, like, really, what the fuck? But it was so excited by these two tiny little cars, and it was amazing.
It's funny the things they latch onto, isn't it? Because like there's cooler Batmobiles than that. There's crazy things that light up and all that, but they'll just latch onto a certain thing. Like he loves this guy. Oh shit! Everyone's bumping their things. Cyclonus, like he's a baddie. He's a baddie.
Martha
right?
likes Cyclonus because he's purple.
Yeah, she just loves. He just loves he turns into a space plane, which is like the dopest shit ever, and it has big guns on it. And it pews the other guys. We just love it.
We found this. It's really sweet, and we found this like book line when we was looking for presents for the kids,
little
like,
golden
for our friends.
Ones.
Yeah, the little golden books.
We bought the Star Wars ones. You got us the He-Man.
Yeah, I did. I got Martha the He-Man ones, didn't I, for Christmas? Yeah. And we did the same with all of our friends' kids. Like one of my friends' kids, we got in the Back to the Future one. We got the Jurassic Park one for one of them. We got some of the Marvel ones for some of the girls, the Captain Marvel ones and stuff as well.
So my daughter loves He-Man so much. I have to be He-Man every day at bath time. So I
have
to do is I have to say, by the power of Grayskull, I've got the power, and then I have to put on like a booming American voice to do the whole of the bath. And then other times she makes me be Skeletor, and I've just got to be like, "You boom!"
This is when we're playing, and I have to be Megatron. When we're playing, and I have to be Megatron and Starscream, and my voice starts to go after like 10 minutes, and he's like, "Do the voice," and I'm like, "Bro, we've been in here for a while."
Yeah. Matt, are you gonna have to wear a He-Man or Skeletor costume for Halloween?
I have to take my hat off because He-Man doesn't wear a hat. That's as far as I go.
You got to get the wig though. Get the bob.
It's happening. She's got a sword of power, made out of wood. And she loves that. She runs around with it. She takes all her clothes off, apart from her pants, obviously, when she's being He-Man, which is quite funny. And just running around the house with the sword, hitting things.
If yours are like mine, like if she's like mine, any excuse to get those clothes off. Yeah.
Except when you want to get them off at bedtime.
Let's not talk about this. It's giving me like a stress.
It's early, Flurry, right?
I got a whole day of this shit.
Express Guide to Parenting.
Yeah.
She didn't get dressed till about 11:30 today. Just didn't want to get dressed. She was just in pajamas. But it's a Saturday, so
Saturdays gotta let it go sometimes.
Exactly.
I mean, you're looking at dressed now, to be honest.
I took a nap earlier, so it's fine.
Now I'm just driving my little cars around the desk. I hope everyone can't hear that.
Yeah, we can hear it.
We can. It's all good.
Yeah. So I guess what releases have we got coming up? What can we talk about? I think we're having a break next week.
You've got the Thing coming up.
I'm doing some sets at the moment that I'm going to talk to you about that later. So give me shits. There's red and blue. But anyway, that would be fun. I think the poster's good. Sometimes it's funny because you work on these things for so long, and then we like send them off for approval, and you get the approval, and then James hounds you for 3 months to do the set so that they can sell it. But you kind of forget because I haven't seen it. I haven't opened that file for, I don't know, month and a half, 2 months.
You hated it. You were like, I hate this piece of shit. Last time I spoke to you.
You work on it, so I couldn't get the fire right. It took ages, and then you eventually end up somewhere where you do like it, close it down, forget about it. You're on to the next 3 things, and there's always that little thing when I go, I better finish that. Or even sometimes when you get to make the promo images, like right at the end, it's like you open it back up and you see it. And with this one, I opened it and went, oh, gee, that's quite good. And I sent it to you, and you were like, oh shit, it is. It's like better than I remember it being.
Yeah, because my last memory of it was you just
whinging and
on it and just moaning about it.
Oh, it's amazing. That the poster for the Thing that you've done that really, really, really good. Really good.
It's not as good as the Jaws poster though.
You're such a cunt.
We've got some. We're working with some new artists as well that we've never worked with. We've got Peter Diamond's doing something for us. We've got Carly AF, which is something new.
Very different.
Yeah. Tracy Ching. We've got something coming out with Tracy soon. Mark Bell, Mark. Some of you will know from running Zavvi Gallery. Mark's actually working with us on something at the moment as well.
It's quite good.
That's pretty good. It's really good. It's a fun time at the moment. We've got loads of really cool stuff. What we're conscious about is just making sure that we don't want to release. What we don't want to do is have 2, 3, 4 releases a week. Some places do that. That's cool. That's good for them. We're a really small gallery. We want to make sure that we kind of actually get stuff shipped out and things, and also give folks time to recuperate a little bit. Really recuperate wallets and actually get stuff in hand so you can see it. So there's no release this week coming up. Hence no guest, but we've got some really cool stuff that is ready to go, and then we've got some returning artists as well doing some. They've got some pretty amazing stuff. Raid's back. Raid's working on something as well.
Yeah, it's quite a good werewolf piece, isn't it?
Yeah,
I like it.
You like werewolves?
Yeah,
werewolves.
Werewolves, not swearwolves.
Yeah.
Speaking of
movies,
Matt
Griffin. That's Matt Griffin, right?
Yeah, it's werewolves.
Matt Griffin. What have we got? We've got Matt Griffin working on nothing.
Yeah, we have.
No, he means with the swear.
No, I mean just saying. Just because you said his name.
Well,
we have, haven't we? Actually, yeah. But I don't think that's going to get through.
We'll see.
Because they've pushed it back once. They pushed me back.
Yeah. If not,
Kubrick Estate. I did some concepts for them, and they just were like, "No." I was like, "Fuck you then," because that's what I'm doing if I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Little announcement here as well. Maybe on my end, I'm working on a book right now. I told you guys in the group already. Mm-hmm. So that's for the interview section of the podcast. Where I talk about what classical artists would make a great movie poster in their style.
We always forget to ask you, Tom. We're all here. We're sat here. We're all self-centered. You're asking us these questions. What we're working on. Well, tell us what you're working on, Tom. You tell us a little bit about what have you got going on in your book
about. Is it going to have pictures in it?
It's gonna have posters in it.
It's the artist that they whatever they said, which was the artist whose style they would like to have seen a poster, and they need to make that poster in that and emulate that.
Exactly.
You never asked me.
You
never asked me that question.
I did.
We literally talked about it on this fucking show last month.
Listen. This is. I'm gonna dig out that email. I'm gonna post it everywhere because this is what I asked. This is what I asked, or basically, Matt answered. We had this talk.
What did I say?
Matt answered all the questions like in short form beforehand in the email, and he's like, I'm not gonna answer that question. I think that's kind of was, or I don't know, or something like that.
There you go. So that's what I said.
Yeah, so
that would be my thing. Obviously, I haven't been asked because I'm too low tier.
That's not true. I asked you. Don't say that. Don't say that.
No, but I was like, oh, gee, I actually almost hope he doesn't ask me because I don't like anything like artists that you like. I'm like, I don't know whatever fucking shit they put in front of me.
I'm not gonna force you. It's okay. So it's you.
So it's
if
like
you want to do it.
I'm becoming quite good at emulating Matt Ferguson apparently. So maybe I'll still poster in his style.
So what the fuck is it like? If Van Gogh did a
basically
film poster,
for example, we have
the thing.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, we're gonna have for example like a couple of people said Caravaggio, for example. He has all those epic kind of posters, and basically they're gonna do the style of Caravaggio and do an Avengers poster or something like that, or maybe Van Gogh doing Finding Nemo.
I would do
like what Phantom City did with they did that Dali-esque kind of cabin in the woods kind of thing.
David Hockney and The Graduate.
Okay, there you go.
I'm taking the piss because Laurent Duro already did that.
I'd do Jackson Pollock, Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, James, are you including yourself in my book? I would take.
Okay. I was trying.
I'd do Rothko and Spider-Man It'd just be red.
No, that's already taken. Oliver Barrett was the one who took that first. He said he's going to do Rothko and Mad Max Fury Road.
Okay. Has anyone chosen Escher? Anyone chose Escher?
I think somebody did, but I think it was
right.
But I forgot who it was. But I think maybe Attack Peter, but I'm not sure. Somebody said Escher.
Oh, okay. That's that makes sense with Attack Peter. I like his. He's very. He's a very articulate guy. He's very good.
I'd do Tracy Emin and I'd do Train Spotting, and it would just be a toilet.
That's very good.
Don't get the joke?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I like that actually.
I don't know. I think it's pretty ballsy for anyone to name these people because they're like, oh yeah, I can emulate that. Like,
Damien,
you can't emulate Caravaggio.
Damien Hirst, Formaldehyde. You just do.
It's just for the fun,
do
you know.
Darth
It's just
Vader
inspiration.
helmet, wouldn't you? Star Wars.
I get
Formaldehyde, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Bit of fun. I'm interested to see
what are you
gonna
get them to draw stuff then? Are they actually illustrating?
Exactly, yeah.
Something?
Yeah, it's gonna be posters in the style they wanted to do. It's like some, for example, SG posters. Eileen, she wants to do. I think she's actually doing two of them. Actually, one is Jackson Pollock, as you mentioned, and I think we were talking Fargo, and also Andy Warhol doing. I forgot what it was. Avengers. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Fargo, Jackson Pollock. Like I already see it. Like I know exactly what it is. But that's pretty clever.
Exactly, right?
Just as a quick thing.
Yeah. That's a good idea for a book. Yes.
Good luck on
Thank
that.
you very
much.
That
goes well.
Yeah,
are you going to actually print it, publish it? Are you going to?
Yeah, it's going to start out. It's going to start as a Kickstarter, and I'm going to work together with Printed in Blood, who has done the art book thing before.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's the Kickstarter is going to happen like towards the end of the year. I'm going to try to get all the artists together now, sending the briefing out next week, and then see who's going to be in, who's going to do something, and and see how far we're going to get. And I'm looking at around 60 artists to get in the book, and it's going to be like a double page for one artist.
Okay, cool. All right, nice one. One thing I've got if there are still people watching.
Yeah, we've been on a long time now.
29 people are watching.
Cool. I've got just a quick question, folks. We're kind of thinking about, obviously not this year, but stuff that we can do event-wise in the future. We've got the open house and conventions and things. It'd be really good. We'd love to hear from you on like Twitter and social media like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, the kind of things, or even ideas now if you want to post them in the comments on what kind of events and what kind of, not necessarily gallery shows, because gallery shows are quite hard to pull off and quite expensive, pulling licenses together and artists and things, but kind of what events people would like to see. Obviously, we've done screenings in the past. Screenings are cool, but just things that we can center around releases. But it'd be really cool to see what kind of things people had in mind.
Okay.
And we'll sit here silent until someone answers that question.
Probably going to have to end up doing screenings on things like this, like watch-alongs on Prime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The group watch thing, right? The party.
So how does a watch-along actually work?
It's pretty interesting. You just send out a link, and what you're showing on, like, we're just showing this. We show our faces, and everyone else is just watching the film on in a window or whatever, and there's you can kind of get like a private link, right? That just
so we sort of go. So we're starting the film now, and they've got to have the film.
They don't even have to do that because it syncs up when you pause and start.
But I think it's only like for 10 people. So I think for more you have to do like say I'm gonna start the movie at this server time, blah blah blah, and click play or something like that, and then see what's up.
It'd be quite interesting.
It's a live commentary, basically.
Avengers, Studio Canal recently did that with the Avengers for the anniversary when Francesco did those posters for us, because that was for that. They had a watch along, and they had a few guests that were doing this kind of thing, and I think they had something. They sold, I think, 300 tickets. It was like $5 a ticket. You logged into a site. On that site, they were streaming the episodes, and alongside that episode, you had Paul. There was a few people, and there was a couple of celebrities and stuff, and they were doing the same thing as what we're doing here. Be interesting to look into the logistics behind that, but then not everybody wants to sit and watch a film and hear us waffling on around.
Depends what film.
Well, you got to pick the right thing. Like you got to pick Predator or like Terminator 2, something everyone's seen.
Indiana Jones, Crystal Skull. I think we just did that right there. But yeah, people are saying here, online convention last year was fun. Drive-in cinema event. People want a Vice Press bingo, and I think that was one of the ideas we had, like a Vice Press bullshit bingo, basically, taking our catchphrases and like turning it into something, and people can win something. Maybe that's something in the future, but yeah.
You know, like I rewatched the shows. We can put on the bingo card when Flory does his unintentional Robert De Niro impression.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes when you guys are talking, I've watched it. When I watch it back, I'm like, I'm just doing the De Niro.
Hairy De Niro.
Yeah. For a movie, by the way, people throwing in Jaws as a watch party. So that's.
I would go for Transformers the movie.
Yeah, but it doesn't stream anywhere. That's the problem. No. Anywhere. You can't even buy it here. Like on digital. No, it's not on iTunes, which is outrageous.
It's on Amazon Prime here because
it's not like anywhere.
It's almost crazy. As if it's being re-released for an anniversary or something, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yes, something like that.
Like the 35th anniversary or something.
People throwing out Live Draw, but I don't know because I think we talked about it before.
No, I don't draw in front of people.
Yeah, we're not good enough to do it. Yeah, James can do it. That'd be good.
Yeah, you do it, James.
Yeah, Live Draw.
It takes an amazing amount of like, it's not skill. It's sort of like ability to be able to do that because it's such a private thing, drawing.
Yeah.
You see people do it at conventions. I just don't know how to do it.
Something we had planned to do, which never kind of came to fruition, just really because of logistics and being asked, was kind of we were going to do almost a mini secret cinema for the Shaun of the Dead, the thing. Not we kind of looked into all sorts of weird and wonderful things, but timing, logistics, and expense just made it
do that as well.
Not viable. But yeah,
we'll all do it.
Oh, I've got nice and relaxed now. It's fine. I've had a couple of beers in me.
Well, it's quite relaxing.
Yeah.
Is that one of the poses that's also on the bingo card, I guess?
We're going to do next year. We're going to do a Vice Press calendar, and everyone's going to get. It's just going to be their favorite screen grab from these open channel moments over the year.
Just this. Yeah. So what's the Secret Cinema thing?
Secret Cinema is a brand. So first and foremost, we wouldn't be Secret Cinema because they're very much their own brand and company. But they, what they do is they kind of make watching the film an experience, isn't it? I think you watch the film at the end.
They have like stormtroopers there if it's Star Wars and stuff. Yeah,
dress it up. They had the cantina, didn't they, when they did the first Star Wars, and then it was Hoth. I think it was Hoth Rebel Base when they did Empire Strikes Back, and for Blade Runner they took over a warehouse and dressed all of that up, and Moulin Rouge, I think they had a brothel, but like
Back to the Future, kind of 50s stuff.
Yeah. But yeah. So I knocked my light over.
So what are we doing? We're going to do a Secret Cinema.
No, we're not going to do a Secret Cinema. We spoke about at the time. I said at the time when we did the Shaun of the Dead, we originally had this idea to kind of get actors in that were going to be zombie ushers. And
we started off with Batman though, because I wanted to do Batman 1989, and I wanted to turn the foyer into the art gallery from the film and have all the same pictures that the Joker defaces, and do it all like that, and have this bust with the paint on it and shit.
We were going to get the purple jackets and things, and we were going to do the patches and stuff.
It was going to be
quick question. Would that be an event idea? Basically, for example, Matt doing like a tattoo event at the cinema. Basically, you draw something like an outline or something, and then it gets tattooed on the person. Like, I don't know, your logo, whatever. Would you do that?
No.
Live tattoo.
If anyone's that stupid,
I'll tattoo them live.
There are a bunch of people doing that.
I'll tattoo them live. That's fine. I'll do it.
That reminds me of that time at Thought Bubble where I went to speak to Jock, and someone had come and said, "Can you sign on my arm?" And he was like, "What?" So he signed on their arm, and he's just like, "Whatever." Tattoo, right? And he didn't even do a great job. And then a few hours later, they came back and they'd like got it tattooed, and he was like, "Oh, I would have signed a bit better than that if I knew that's what you were doing."
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, interesting.
I mean, it's nice that people do these things. It really is. It's I still get all nerdy and geeky when we meet people that
Not meeting any people anytime soon, so don't have to worry about that.
Oh, no.
True indeed. True indeed.
What's the nerdiest geek encounter you've ever had?
But the
As in embarrassing yourself, or
just whatever, yeah, whatever. What sticks into your mind as embarrassing or just like insane?
I mean, I think most of the time when I've met anybody that's relatively famous, it's been me that's been the insane one. I don't react well to meeting people that I like. I get all nervous. Like when we met Taika, I was
very nervous because that was just
I turned into like yeah.
I told him that I'd rather be in a bar, and then he said, "Me too."
I asked Danny Elfman if he was it Danny Elfman? No, who did the soundtrack? Is it Danny Elfman? Maybe I'm wrong.
To what?
For what film?
The Aladdin soundtrack.
Oh, I don't know.
It's not Danny Elfman. It's
John
Alan Menken. Alan Menken,
yeah.
Yeah, and I was at the Aladdin premiere, the live action movie here in Berlin, and Alan Menken was there, and I did some social media stuff. So I was hanging out for a second with him, and I asked him for a social media question, what kind of Disney princess he would like to be, and he answered with Quasimodo. So that was fun. And I had some Will Smith stuff also as well. There was because they like the cinema, the IMAX here has like basically is very like a lot of hallways behind the scenes, and at some point it gets like really narrow and you can basically hit your head, and they were like marking it up, and they basically told Will Smith then like while we were walking there, hey, watch your head, insurance wise it would be very terrible if you hit your head and stuff like that. And then he was messing around, and then we were walking ahead and he was going behind there, and he was like slapping like really hard against the top of the wall, and everybody was looking around and they thought he actually hit his head really hard, but he didn't. So but Will Smith, overall cool guy, and very very much fun to hang around with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've not got any cool stories.
Yeah, I've been next to famous people so many times and I just don't talk to them because I don't like it when people talk to me that I don't know. So I assume they're probably the same. So
I think, because I think Taika and Kevin Smith's the most famous two.
The only reason I spoke to Taika is because he wanted to speak to me.
Yeah. And then other than that, it's comic artists. Like the only people I've really queued to see are comic artists or comic writers. I was a fan of Jocks before we started doing this. Carlos Esquera and all of those guys, Mark Miller, Tim Sale.
The weirdest ever experience was Michael Biehn from Terminator.
Oh God! Oh
when he came up to our table at that convention, and in my memory, he's got the trench coat on.
He had a leather
and
trench
he's like sidling up, and he's like really serious, and he sort of asked like, "How's the convention going for you boys?" He's like, "How's the convention going for you?" He's like really gravelly, and we were like, okay, it's a bit quiet. And then he just sort of said, "Sometimes you bite the bear, sometimes the bear bites you," and then just walked off.
Yeah,
he just turned and walked off. And he walked the same way he's walking down the street in Terminator. I swear he could have had like a shotgun.
Couple people from the audience are saying, Netta says, Sir Ian McKellen, he forgot her name and the question and the purpose. And yeah, God bless Gandalf. No, she forgot her name, so she couldn't say anything, I guess. And Kier Young from More Art says he met Andy Serkis and he got him to force choke him. So that was.
Andy Serkis is really nice, actually. I have met him because we've got a mutual. I know somebody that knows him, and he was at something that I was at. Yeah, he was really pleasant. I forgot about a weird one. I met Dave Gibbons in a urinal. He that was at the 2000 AD thing. And we were stood at the loo, and I turned around and I said, "Oh, hi, Dave, pleased to meet you." And I'm thinking, and I thought in my head, "You fucking weirdo, why did you do that at an urinal?" And then Dave Gibbons turned around and says, "Oh, you're the guy that's selling those posters, aren't you?" And he shook my hand at the urinal, and I'm like, "Okay, well, you just weirded me, so that's strange." But yeah, that was pleasant. And then that was nice.
Shook your hand and then zipped up. Oh,
Still, yeah.
Another question from John R. Price: is there any chance for Vice Pres into figure statue line? Something gonna happen like that?
There's always a chance, yeah.
There's always a chance.
Nothing in the works there.
Yeah.
We regularly get excited about shit that we can never ever make, and
the amount of money that goes into the R&D and development of a figure is ludicrous. I mean, like Matt obviously did the ornament, and that was good because that kind of gives us an idea of the kind of stuff we can do. We've talked about vinyl toys in the past. I think we considered it when we had the 2000 AD license, but it's how do you do something, Funkos have been done to death, and derivatives therefore of Funko have been done to death as well. I think there's some cool things that you can do, like BIM Toy have done some original stuff, Bottleneck and the BIM Toy guys and David Welker, they've done some statues with them that are cool. But it's what Matt did was quite original with those unicorns because it's nice, it's die-cast, it's simple, it's something. But how do you kind of do something that's not just going to be for the sake of it? We don't want to do something that's just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Well, that was always my thing. Like back when I started making posters, it was because I couldn't make toys. Like you can't just be one guy and make toys. So I was like, I'm gonna make something. I just started drawing stuff and posting it online, and then now I make posters instead. But it would be fun if it could ever swing around and get into other things as well. Look, we're making all sorts of shit for a lot of licenses at the moment. It's not just posters anymore, so you never know.
Yeah, it'd be something fun to do. Like with licensing, it's interesting because obviously with Funko, you've got that thing that circumvents the likeness, and then you've not got titles and credits and stuff, and then retroaction. But then you've got people like Super Secret Fan Club, and you go to New York Comic Con or Thought Bubble, and you go down the creator alleys, and you've got all of these cool bootleg stuff that's awesome and like short run, and it'd be great to kind of have that. There was a Vinyl Idols thing not long back where they did some really cool interpretations of like Ghostbusters and Back to the Future and stuff. And Large Evil Corporation, I think, was who originally did it. They were awesome. Then they got bought by Funko, and I think the figures were just a bit. They fell a bit. I don't want to knock anybody, but they weren't. It was like, oh, okay, these looked awesome when they were originally kind of
because that was the mob that did the first renders or whatever that they put out there were like the Shaun of the Dead, the Hot Fuzz ones, right?
Yeah.
And it was the two characters of each. I remember seeing those, and then it eventually becoming a thing, and then the real toys were there, and then the real toys were there at a discount, and then there was just no more interesting licenses, and then they were gone. Like it felt like it was, and for you to say they were bought and then Funko took it over and all that, maybe that's it. Like it just kind of lost its cool.
Yeah. But it is.
Another funny thing, Tech Trashing is saying that he shouted hello at Anthony Daniels in Times Square, and his wife thought it was someone from work.
Is that your boss?
Is that someone? It's like that Alan Partridge.
Oh, well, us nerds, when we get excited about stuff, that's just like not exciting. Yeah. To like non-nerds.
The best thing is when you do see celebrities in like everyday situations, though, isn't it? Like Will Smith in a supermarket kind of thing.
They are real people, you see. That's why I never go up to them and bother them.
Yeah.
Never go up. But the only one that I've ever seen is...
I sat in front of Mark Hamill and Samuel L. Jackson at the Civil War premiere, and they were just there, and they were just sat next to each other, just talking, having a good time. But then people kept on coming up to them and talking at them and going, "Can I have a selfie?" And they were really good, obviously, because they were working, I guess, and they were doing it all. But whenever nobody was there, they were just talking to each other and having a good time. And I thought, let's just leave them because they're having a good time.
One of the you still had the experience of them being there, so it's not like you missed out or anything.
No. One of the most fun nights I think I've ever had, and Matt, you were with me on that. When we did that convention Jeff Charles convention in the nice one, and we went out for drinks that night with Simon Bisley, Greg Staples.
And Simon Bisley is like a proper
arm wrestling everybody.
He was like drinking beer and whiskey chasers and stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah,
absolute nutter.
Was Chris Weston there? I can't remember whether Chris was there or not. But
that was fun.
That was a really good night. But that was kind of like it was a normalized situation and stuff, wasn't it? It's not like and they were incredibly pleasant. But I remember the night because we left my car in Northampton, didn't we? And we were stopping at a hotel like 30 minutes away, so we had to get a taxi. We just abandoned my car somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah.
Don't remember this.
Yeah.
Good question. What we were missing out this whole stream was Matt Burnett is asking, "Where's Trevor?"
Who knows? That's a mystery for the ages.
Who knows?
But somewhere. I think one last question for tonight from the audience will be by David Leishman. Is there anything you've really wanted to do but couldn't do or couldn't get a license for?
Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Which we've come close to twice. Like, really close.
Yeah, contracts in hand. It's difficult. Like, I think I don't want to kind of over-egg the Ghostbusters thing too much. That was really a difficult situation to kind of pass up on because it's my
legal issues, isn't it? I mean, they really wanted to work with us. We really wanted.
They did, and Sony were great.
And then probably
we'll go back to it.
It will happen.
It's like we will do like Ghostbusters is something we will do when the time's right, and when we're a big enough company, the investment that we would have had to put in at the time, and we just couldn't have made it. We couldn't have made it work. If it hadn't have worked, we wouldn't be around. So sometimes you just have to admit that you're just not a big enough company yet to be able to pull it off.
You might be able to get in with Afterlife or something and then work your way backwards if that ever comes out. Who knows?
Yeah, there's always ways. I mean, the door was very, we kind of have a pleasant relationship. We kind of, first and foremost, we're trying to get on with everybody that we work with and, don't burn bridges and, you can come back to it. So it's something we can come back to, but you do have to make difficult and for me that Ghostbusters one was I had to step back and think, okay, if this was any other license, what would I do? And then just
business Jane put his business hat on and got his Excel spreadsheets out.
So that's one. Good question, thank you.
Maybe we should have done that with Transformers, because bloody hell, that is an ongoing saga.
We'll talk about that in another episode.
Yeah, exactly, people. Okay, thank you everybody for coming out tonight and joining us here on the stream. Thank you for all the comments. Congratulations to all the winners, and thank you for smashing the like button, as we say here. And follow us all on Instagram. The Instagram handles are all there. Also, Twitter would be very much preferred. It helps us out in every way and helps us out also giving you some cool giveaways. So just take the seconds and like us everywhere. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you in 4 weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
For the next podcast.
Cheers.
6.
Cheers.
Right, take care, guys. Bye.